Greetings, YouTube. One of our fellow RPG members of the YouTube community did a 30-day challenge in September. I decided not to do that. I do enough role-playing game topics on my channel as it is, and I have a lot of people subscribed that aren't into role-playing games, so I thought that might be a little too intense. But I decided I would look at the questions that he has answered over the course of the month of September and answer them in a rapid-fire manner if I can. The only list of questions I have from him are actually the graphic he used in his video. I will link to the first of his series of videos so you can go look at the graphic yourself and listen to his videos if you so choose. So we got 30 questions, and I'm going to try to get through these as fast as I can. 1. How you got started. I started gaming thanks to my friend Greg. He introduced me to the game way back in 1978. Invited me to a great game at an incredibly beautiful house around a huge table, oak table that was something like 500 years old. It was quite an amazing gaming environment. 2. Favorite playable race. That would probably be the dwarves. 3. Favorite playable class. I've always been a fan of the martial classes, and I've always tended to like rangers. I'm never sure why. Maybe part of me always wanted to be like Gentle Ben living in the woods with an animal. 4. Favorite game world. The game world I used the most of was probably the Forgotten Realms, but it wasn't the Forgotten Realms that, was out of the book by Raw. I tended to change it up and use it the way I wanted to. But it was nice having common terms and maps and place names and things like that. Saved me a whole lot of time. 5. Your favorite set of dice/individual die. I have a 12-sided die that I happen to love. It's, for some strange reason, I've never been able to figure out why. It lives inside of a film canister in my my dice box. And I also have a set of D10s, which I use for percentiles, which are also some of my favorite that I used extensively in the 3rd edition Gamma World game, the one that used the Marvel color chart. I love those dice. They were always very faithful to me. Favorite deity. I was always a big fan of the Norse pantheon, and I can't say I had a specific deity in that pantheon. I liked Thor a whole lot. His sons Magni and Modi were also kind of cool. Let's see, favorite edition. So they're like an L. Favorite edition. I would have to say the OGL/Pathfinder. Though Radiance would also fall into that category as well. 8. Favorite character you have played. That would be Sir Ranger Lord Tekan, a 26th level Ranger Lord from a 1st edition campaign that I played for 6 years. He was an awesome character, and his portrait is on my wall. Favorite character you haven't played. I came up with an idea for a warlock named Pavel that I never got to play. That I think would be kind of cool. Mechanic neutral, incredibly self-centered, for his own particular view of the universe, and the only reason he interacts with others is that because he has a penchant for wanting companionship. But it's all about his personal relationships. He's not altruistic in the least. Craziest thing that happened that you saw, no to party, character, your players, etc. I believe I talked about in the past the fact that one night our characters killed the corporeal form of Satan in the Storm Giant Castle. That was one of the craziest things we did as players. As a party, probably saving the world in a Gamma World campaign from a Dark Phoenix-like madwoman. And as to my personal character, not really sure to tell you the truth. 11. Favorite adventure you have ran. Or run. It should probably be run, shouldn't it? Regardless. Favorite adventure, the GW, the G series. The giants in the castle, there's hill giants, frost giants, fire giants, that series. That was probably my favorite one. I played that numerous times. Favorite dungeon type location. I've come to appreciate dungeons that are actually derived from natural caving systems, or at least things that can pass vaguely as natural caving systems. Not necessarily perfectly natural, because most of those are impossible to go through with any kind of equipment on. But ones that kind of at least can pass for a natural caving system. I've become less enamored with the classic, granite blocks underground look. Just not my thing anymore. Favorite trap / puzzle. The simplest trap I think I ever used was a hallway that had torches on the walls. They were actually fed by gas. And the floor was covered in flour. And the characters assumed the flour was there so that people could see the footprints. And as soon as they entered the place, the door they had opened slammed closed, causing the flour to burst into the air in a big poof, hitting the flames and exploding. No detect magic on that one, and essentially a non-magic fireball. Favorite NPC. That would be Otto of Otto's Oddities. I used Otto more than once. He was actually... was it Richard Adams? The guy that wrote the Horse Clan series. He actually was Otto from Otto's Oddities. That he actually was an immortal, and I used him in the future in a Gamma World campaign. And then I imported that idea into a Forgotten Realms campaign as well. Just a guy who owned this very strange store and how he owned it and where he got his strange things. And I loved Otto. He was awesome. Favorite monster / type undead. Favorite undead, I'm going to go with the skeletons, though ghouls do have a wonderfully creepy aspect to them and they can paralyze people. Favorite monster, aberration. Now, for me, the flump will always be the favorite aberration, but they're not really useful as an opponent all that well, in my opinion. But I'm a big fan of the aboleth. Favorite monster, animal / vermin. I like bears for animals. Vermin's giant scorpions are always good. Favorite monster, immortal / outsider. Are the monads outsiders? The cube ones, triangular ones, the ones that are all different shapes. I think that they're outsiders. If they're outsiders, they would probably be my favorite. Favorite monster, elemental plant. I'm a big fan of stone elementals, and treants are an awesome plant. Favorite monster, humanoid, natural, fae. I'm a fan of just your classic humanoid races, like goblins and orcs. I've used those a lot. I like them. Occasionally kobolds or hobgoblins, things like that. As far as fae go, I like the tiny fae, like the pixies and things like that. I think they're interesting. Favorite dragon color type. Maybe I'm a traditionalist. I always like the red dragons for the bad guys and silver dragons for the good guys. Favorite monster overall. That would be the owlbear. Notice the owlbear over my shoulder. Favorite monster. Least favorite monster overall. I don't like demons and devils. I think that they're overused and tired, and they give outsiders a really negative view of our game. Favorite energy type. Well, I think fire is the most useful one in a lot of ways because it can do so many things in the real world. But I'm fond of Sonic because it's unusual. Favorite magic item. Rod of Lordly Might, folks. It's the Swiss Army knife of magic items. Favorite non-magical item. Rope. Rope is awesome. Rope is a very useful item in dungeoning. But anyone who's been on my site will tell you sharp things are my favorite. A hatchet will do you far more good in life than pretty much any other thing you can carry. It can hammer, it can chop, it can pry, it can save your buttons. It can keep you alive in the forest. And yes, I just happen to have that sitting on my desk. I did not put that there for this video. Favorite, character you want to play in the future. I talked about a ranger that wanted to become the world's best shot and the gamesman for his king and to reclaim the reputation of his grandfather. And his father sullied that name, so he needs to get his grandfather's bow back, and he needs to reclaim the family title and once again bring honor to his clan. So that was his name escapes me at the moment. I've talked about him in the past. Character you never play ever again. I played a wizard once that I really didn't like. I played him for a bit, and it was just like he just didn't fit me. And I tried to squeeze myself into playing a true neutral character, and I just couldn't do it. It's just not my thing. Cantos, that was his name, Cantos. What is the number you always seem to roll on a D20? I think I hit 12 a lot. I'm not sure why. Best DM you ever had. And we're right back to question number 1, folks. That would be my friend Greg. He is the best GM I've ever had. He's a little absent-minded. He's got that kind of absent-minded professor thing about him. And if you didn't keep him occupied during a game, either as a player or as a GM, he might well fall asleep on you. But when he was engaged and when he was working his magic, he was a whole lot of fun to play with or game with when he was in charge. Most of my best gaming memories involved games that involved my friend Greg in one capacity or another. So there you go. Those are the 30 questions from the challenge from September, all answered. I will again post a link to this, and you can go and look at them yourself and do your own video. I guess post a link in the comment because we don't have video responses anymore. Thanks, YouTube. And if you'd like to answer some of these questions down below or have questions for more details, feel free. And I look forward to your responses.